did the MC for the late and great Barry White in London at the London Pavilion. And I made a mistake on stage. I called him Billy White and said to the audience of 3,000 people, he is the biggest hunk of funk you ever gonna see. Well, he didn't like that. And then on top of that, I made the mistake of calling him Billy White. Instead of going off to the left, and this is a true fact, this is history, in some of my write-ups you'll see something about it. Instead of me going off to the left, I went off to the right. And I walked into and looked at this guy, and there was this huge guy with his white suit on, standing there, and he says, took my hand, and he held it and says, Freddie, Superbad, that was great, but don't you make that effing mistake again, because my name is Barry White, not Billy White.
You're just a mortal being, doing the best you can to live your life, yet staying true to Mother Nature's plan. Kung Fu Man, a man of peace, goodwill to all, will stay cool.
I was born in a place called Benson, South Carolina in America, back in the 30s. And my mother is Italian. Si io parlo italiano perfettamente. Shock it is. My mother was Italian. Just after the Second World War, she drifted to America, her and her sister Aunt Blanche. I got photos in there. You see them all afterwards. Married my father. My father was a helper on a plantation, Carolina Breeding's big plantation. And they fell in love and got married, but then her daddy, you understand, didn't like the idea. So when I was about 3 years old, she understand me, she left me with my Aunt Blanche, you understand me, and she went to New York City, a place called Brooklyn, New York. From the South, it was a long jump, you know, especially back in those days, especially with an Italian lady marrying, you know, a black American, you know, it wasn't too kosher. Anyway, so sooner or later, she came back, but I was 13 years old then, and I thought that my Aunt Blanche, because they looked just alike, I thought that my Aunt Blanche was my mommy, and one day I came out to the porch, and this car pulled up, and this lady came out and says, Junior, and grabbed and hugged me, you know. And I said, who are you, ma'am? And ran back inside. Mommy, that lady out there just grabbed me. She's trying to kidnap me. And she says, no, son. She says, Junior, that's your mother. And she stayed with us for about a year. And then, like I said, about 13 or 14 then. And she brought me to Brooklyn, New York, and there where I met the greatest man in the world, Floyd Patterson. Florence was her name.
So this was your mother?
Mm-hmm. Florence Purvis. Other words, Flossie Purvis, they called her. All right? Woo! Hey, mommy, a great photographer. Yeah.
At the 1952 Olympics, you were an alternate to Floyd Patterson.
That's right.
What was it like to be an Olympian at that time representing the USA during the Cold War?
It was a great thing, except for the prejudice there was something else. For an example, Floyd was a much darker complexion than me. Tony Anthony was a very light. He came from, his father was one complexion and, you know, a mixed breed. So they let the black fighters stay in one hotel and all the light-skinned fighters, which they call a word mulatto, not black, not white, mulatto. So you had white, mulatto, and then black fighters. Now, the people at the 1952 Olympics, the people themselves in Helsinki, Finland, was the most wonderful people I ever met in my life. You understand me? The people, it was the government. You understand? It was the government. But Floyd went on to knock out all his opponents, you understand me? And if something would have happened to Floyd and he couldn't have fight, or he wouldn't have knocked them out so quickly, you understand me, they would have gave me a chance to fight, but I didn't. I just was on the alternate team. But what a team, boy. Tony Anthony, Floyd Patterson, myself, you understand me? Oh yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Burt Whitehurst, which was a heavyweight that went to Rome with me. You know?
Jan and I went to America, and he was making a personal appearance. And I, in Stillman's Gymnasium, 53rd Street in Manhattan, I threw two or three punches at him. Couldn't touch him. And he was a young guy, 19 years old then, you know. Yeah, that's my man. Yeah. Yep.
How long did the fight last with him?
You mean the sparring?
The sparring?
Yeah, about 2 minutes 59 seconds, and that was it. It was about 2 minutes. I was in the ring with him, and oh boy, that's all right. Leave it down there. That's what I was having. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think who. Oh, that's my wife, Johnny. This is Johnny's family. Here's one of our pantomimes, Johnny and I.
Can you tell us a bit about your film, your short? You've only been in a few things.
Well, I've been in Dewey Vazel Sing Sing with the Sex Pistols, the two escaping Sing Sings, where you see me open, the Sex Pistols get out of the car pulls up, and they go into this club. You see Superbad opening the door for them, you understand me? They go inside, they're having drinks, having fun and all like that, having their film, whatever like that. And the next shot you see me in the DJ box, you understand me? Where I'm introducing a band that's on the stage. And you actually see about a 30-second shot of me introducing this band, you understand? And that was that. That was the Sex Pistols. With Cleopatra, it was much more different because I was in Rome then, and I was, of the 6 black slaves that bring her into Rome, I was the second one on the left-hand side as the screen hits you. As you look at it from looking at it like this, I was the second one. And the director kept it in. I stumbled, and he kept it. And that's how you can, in the film, if you ever see the film Cleopatra, and you look at the second one on the left-hand side, you understand me? As the face is going, Rome is there, and she's coming into it like that. And I'm the second one on the left-hand side, and I stumble. And he kept it in. He didn't take it out. So that was that part. I was the first, dig this, first American to drive a pink and yellow E-type jack, split down the middle. Pink on one side, yellow on the other side. Right? You dig that? Know what the license plate number was? I drove 60 and 70 miles an hour back in the 80s, and never got a ticket once. You know why? Because every cop that would stop me say to me, what is the meaning? As you know, you drive a car. What's the meaning of your license plate number there? What's, the interpretation in those days? You don't know? No, I don't know. Tell us. I'm the leader of the Ku Klux Klan.
Superbad is back with 28 sold out hits from the 70s. Our LaBelle, Curtis Mayfield, Isaac Hayes, Flash Construction, KC, and the Jacksons. If it's bad, it's good. If it's super bad, it's the best. Get down, get the return of Superbad now.